Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to be going over my top 5 VR games from 2020. In the number 5 spot is Trover Saves the Universe. I know a lot of you are saying, well, it wasn't released this year, but in fact for the Quest it was released in the summer. Trover Saves the Universe is a creation from the co-creator of Rick and Morty, Justin Roiland. Quite simply, it's a puzzle slash platformer slash comedy game. You play as a Chairorpian who is bound to his chair as he teleports around and controls his buddy Trover with a remote controller. It is like Moss in the aspect of it being in second person, something which I think works really well in VR. Trover has things called power babies as eyes. These are little coloured creatures who can give him different powers. You'll find upgrades for these along the way. To defeat the various enemies on your journey, Trover carries a purple lightsaber with him, which he uses to dispatch of them with relative ease. The characters though are what make this game. With it being made by the Rick and Morty co-creator, it may not be for everyone, but personally I find the dialogue they come out with hilarious. I can't remember laughing at a game this much. If you haven't tried this one out and you are the proper age, then this is a strong recommend from me. If you want to check out my full review for this game, it will be up in the top right. In the number 4 spot is Contractors. Contractors is a multiplayer FPS, which if done right are by far some of my favourites, and this one done it right. It struck the perfect balance between a milsim and an arcadey shooter. Because in a VR game, an arcadey shooter can feel a bit lackluster, as the whole principle of being in VR is so you can reload your own guns and throw your own grenades. Pop 1 is a bit of an anomaly in this though. But then sometimes milsims can feel a bit too intense for some players who aren't well versed in something like Arma, let's say. Jumping into Onward as your first multiplayer FPS might feel a little daunting in VR, so this game can ease people into VR with something they are familiar to. The gameplay felt amazing, probably my favourite gun mechanics and sounds in any VR game that I have tried anyway, and also the noise when you get a headshot makes it all that more satisfying. You have your typical weapon types in the game, you have snipers, rifles, SMGs, shotguns, and a lot more. You also have your typical game modes, which everyone will know, including Team Deathmatch and Domination among others. If you want to check out my full review for this game, it will be up in the top right as well. Coming in third on this list is Pop 1. Population 1 was the first Battle Royale game to grace the Oculus Store. I got burnt out on the BR genre after Call of Duty Blackout, as I've been playing them since H1Z1, and there hasn't been much innovation since, so for me they got boring very quick. But Pop 1 breaks the mould, as BR in VR changes the dynamic, and with flying and climbing introduced, it freshens it up a lot. I had so much fun in this game last year. It's a great place to meet new people as well, as all Quest models have built-in microphones, so there's no excuse for your teammates not to talk. That's one of my gripes about BR on console or PC. No one ever communicates, so you don't work as a team and eventually get killed. Now some of you might think it just looks like the Fortnite of VR, so I'm not going to play a kid's game. But trust me, it's far from it. People of any age will have fun in this game. Now yeah, the grenade throwing element is janky and doesn't work very well in VR, and the reloading mechanic is a bit lackluster for VR, but to put it simply, you don't go in this game to experience a milsim. You go into this game to have fun. Now obviously, with the game being called Population 1, you would think that you could play solo, but no, you have to team up with 2 other players. So technically it's Population 3. This isn't all bad, as like I said before, it's a good way to meet new people, and with this lockdown, it's nice to speak to new people. This is a must-have if you own a Quest headset. It's such a good way to wind down at the end of a long day. If you want to check out my full review for this game, it will also be in the top right. In the number 2 spot, it is Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. This one had to be on my list. It's what I've been dreaming of ever since I heard about VR. A free roam sandbox game, and damn they implemented it well. It doesn't have any story ties to the series, so you don't need to watch any of that to understand the story or the characters. But let's be honest, I don't think anyone's watching that show anymore. The whole scale of this game is really impressive, and yes, they might have had to sacrifice a little in the graphics department to get it onto the Quest, but the core fundamentals of the game are what shine through. I haven't finished it yet, so I haven't released my full review, but that'll be coming in the future. You have a whole crafting element, so when you find materials out in the open world, more than likely they can be used to make something, or if you scrap them down, you'll have some handy raw materials. This just makes everything feel intertwined, as they haven't just scattered random items throughout the world for show. Everything is there for a reason, and for you to benefit from it in some way. This will have you going out on scouting runs, like what would happen in a real zombie apocalypse. Where I am in the game at the moment, good guns and weapons sometimes feel a bit scarce, so when you have a knife which is about to break and you have a few zombies running at you, it can be a struggle to get another weapon out of your backpack in time. This then makes you think about what sort of weapons you want and need for an adventure out into the open world. This is another must-own for any VR lovers. In at number 1, you probably all guessed it by now, Half-Life Alyx. This game is one of the main reasons I got into VR, another one of the reasons being Ren's reviews. As at the start of the first lockdown, a game popped up into my featured tab called Black Mesa. I was intrigued, as it was only £15 and had amazing reviews. It looks like a really fun game to pass the time, so I bought it and started playing. I was hooked. That night, I'd done a bit of research and found out that it was a remake of the original Half-Life game. So obviously from there, I played through every single Half-Life game I could find and had a blast doing so. When I finished the last one, I was a bit disappointed as it left the story on a massive cliffhanger and I was longing for more. I then saw that the last game to be released in the series was in 2007, so I didn't have much hope. But then I went back onto the internet to have a look if there were any rumours of a new game in the works, and there it was, Half-Life Alyx. But I then saw it was a VR exclusive game. Up to this point, I had just thought of VR as a bit of a gimmick. I was under the impression that it was a cool experience in an arcade or for people with thousands of pounds to spend. Again, I took to the internet and started doing some research and stumbled across the original Quest headset and realised it was only £300. I was blown away and immediately snapped one up. Now I could finally experience the next game in the Half-Life series, and my god was it good. This was one of the first VR games I played after getting my VR legs, so I was blown away by the whole thing. First off, the graphics, they were stunning. They even looked good in the original Quest, so I'd love to go back and revisit it in the Quest 2 headset. The gunplay is stellar as well, with a couple guns to collect along the way to add to your arsenal. The characters were done really well. Russell being one of my favourite video game characters of all time, and learning more about Alyx was super interesting. The story was amazing throughout and scratched the itch of the last cliffhanger, but then left me with another spine-tingling ending, which left me wanting even more. I really hope we don't have to wait another 13 years for the next title, and I really hope they go with VR again, as it adds a lot to a story game like this. This is easily in my top 3 games of all time, so it had to go at the top of this list. If you haven't played this game yet and you own a VR headset, what are you doing? Thanks for watching, make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and also follow my Twitter to keep updated. Thanks, I'll see you in the next one.